It just seems like dominoes have been falling, and the only thing you can...
What happened? How much money did Russia pay him? Oh, don't get mad.
We've got another absolute meltdown from Destiny over Tim Pool's takes. And honestly, this is ridiculous. Destiny is straight up panicking after realizing Tim Pool has been consistent for over a decade on Ukraine. Destiny realizes that Tim Pool was right about a lot of things, actually, and can't seem to figure out how to react. Let's immediately jump in and watch Destiny's reaction to what Tim Pool said.
How much of this thread am I going to read and lose my mind? Wait, I'm sorry. Hold on. Wait. So he knew? Hey, Reddit, Tim Pool here reporting from the uprising in Kiev, Ukraine, for Vice. Ask me anything. First thing, do you think the protests will escalate? If so, what would the consequences be internationally? It's a coin toss. Like most uprisings, more people come after police get violent. If they try to evict by force or attack protesters, more people will come. Also, if the rumors are true that Yanukovych will sign or has signed a deal with Russia to join the customs union, people will be angry. Oh, crazy. Wait, so he did know why they were protesting 11 years ago. It wasn't because of Victoria Nuland choosing to instigate a new revolution. What is the rest of this thread? There are counter-protests, but they are very small relative to the Euromaidan protest. There are allegations that people are threatened to lose their jobs unless they protest in support. Some students say they will get expelled from schools if the schools find out they protested. Do you think it's actually a grift or you got brainwashed? I think it's a grift. Does it seem as if the general population is in support of the protesting? Or is it more of a small group of people going rogue to the disgust of the populace? To me, yes, there were 400 to 500,000 people here in Kiev on Sunday. It definitely seems to be a popular movement. Huh. In the beginning, it was about the EU, but it seems now it's more about corruption, less about the European Union or Russia. Crazy how he knew so much of this back then. Huh. That's so wild. More people here are hoping that by joining the EU, it will help curb corruption. Wait, can somebody link me a current video of him talking about... I'm sure there's a video of him talking about how Euromaidan was instigated by Russia. Somebody link me a video of this. I'll tweet this out. It's a mix of everyone from activists, ordinary citizens, and the political parties. From what I understand, it's not likely Svoboda wins, but there are many different nationalist organizations that are influencing the protests, particularly the Information Center and Security. I'm told there are some far-right protesters starting fights as well. It's important to know that no one thinks they are fascists, though. Oh, I thought it was all Azov Nazis. Simple question, why do you think the Ukrainian government backed out of the deal? Transcript. The main reason that the president didn't sign the deal with the EU is that Russia was threatening to raise gas prices, and that can devastate the economy of Ukraine. Other than that, it might just be a case of trying to get a better offer from the other side. So he even acknowledges that part of the violence was caused by, video has no sound, was caused by Russian meddling or influence. Jesus Christ.
Tim Pool being right again must be a nightmare for Destiny. I don't know about you guys, but every time Tim Pool lays out the timeline with actual facts, people like Destiny suddenly lose their minds. It's like they can't process that someone outside their bubble actually did the research and was ahead of the curve. Wild.
It's going to hit us, baby. Now we're being warned that recession signals are here. The United States may be in for a wild ride. And who do you blame? Blame whoever you want, okay? All of this stuff plays a role in everything. In everything. We can say, well, Russia should not have invaded Ukraine. And then people come out and say, yeah, well, the U.S. shouldn't have been meddling in Ukrainian politics. That's a border country for Russia. Yeah, I'm talking about what happened with Maidan, the protests in 2014. I was actually on the ground for the start of this, the ousting of Yanukovych, Joe Biden's illicit dealings. All of those things played a role. The U.S. is meddling in the Middle East. All of it reduces back to a point where it just seems like dominoes have been falling. And the only thing you can...
What happened? How much money did Russia pay him? Oh, don't get mad. You understand how crazy it is. You understand how crazy it is that this guy had a certain view of the Ukrainian revolution, the Euromaidan, right? And then years later, keep in mind, he has this opinion before 10 Media even shows up. But this guy ends up getting $5 million from Russia, and he's already repeating Russian talking points. And he says he was on the ground, but when he was on the ground, he was giving a complete and total difference of opinion about this particular thing. Like, what happened?
Of Ukraine, as I've been told and have read, granted, I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't have access to private intelligence. But the general idea was that Russia said, hey, we're going to give you all these things if you side with us, the Russian Trade Federation, which includes a bunch of other countries in the region. Some said that Vladimir Putin wants to rebuild the Soviet Union. However,
we're going to give you all these things
A lot of people in Ukraine, the people I met, these are regular people. I didn't go to like special secret meetings. I'm walking around in the street. They want to be part of the European Union. They want access to the Schengen zone, and they
July
fear
31st,
Russia
2023
because of, I don't know, nightmarish things like the Holodomor. They don't want to be a part of Russia. Now, in the eastern regions, sentiment is very, very different. And Yanukovych was basically like, who's going to give us the better deal? Who's going to give the good deal? We've got the leverage. And this is where things go south. When the U.S. comes in knocking and says, take the deal or else, Yanukovych said, look.
Wait, is he going to mention that Russian gas thing that he had mentioned when he was in Ukraine before, or is it all now the U.S.?
Exactly. This is what's hilarious. Destiny is literally watching himself get debunked in real time and doesn't even realize it. Tim Pool called this out years ago, directly from Ukraine. But now, Destiny is conveniently ignoring it. So, I mean, yeah, keep pretending like you don't know what changed. The only thing that changed is your narrative falling apart.
What changed?
We got Russia at our back. If you screw with us, I want a real deal. Offer my people good incentives, access to the Schengen zone. Russia was saying, hey, we'll give you this, that, or otherwise.
Access to the Schengen zone? Wait, I could be wrong, but I don't believe that the deal on the table for Ukraine was to join the European Union. I think it was just to have good access to the market. Schengen zone implies free travel, implies, I'm pretty sure that, isn't that only countries that are in the European Union proper?
And finally, what happens? Well, many sources believe, and they could be wrong, I don't know, just stuff you read on the internet and various reports, Oliver Stone seems to believe it. U.S. intelligence said, we're going to remove this guy because he won't do what we want. And then you get Zelensky. I mean, granted, there were other people in between, of course, Poroshenko. Russia says, no way. This is the U.S. basically stealing this. And
Okay, there are some non-EU countries who are in the Schengen zone.
I described before, you know what we're getting with this is soft power, and the U.S. exertion of rather successfully. Vladimir Putin, on the other hand, his soft power didn't work. He doesn't have...
Oh, hold on. Wait. The non-EU countries of Switzerland, Liechtenstein, Norway, and Iceland have been included in the Schengen area through special association agreements. Okay, it's basically only EU countries then. I'm too lazy to type right now. I would ban for a year every actual fucking retard.
Have the money. He's the BRICS nations, they can't compete with the petrodollar. They're trying to. So when it came, he doesn't have the money, power, and the U.S. exertion of rather successfully. Vladimir Putin, on the other hand, his soft power didn't work. He doesn't have the money. He's the BRICS nations, they can't compete with the petrodollar.
What does that mean? Compete with the petrodollar? What does that mean? What does that even mean? God, I hate him. Why am I watching this? I'm not watching this anymore. Okay.
So what did we learn today? Tim Pool has been spitting facts for over a decade, and Destiny just got caught lacking. He panicked, he flailed, he threw a little tantrum, and in the end, he still couldn't debunk Tim Pool. That's what happens when you try to rewrite history. And Tim Pool has the receipts to prove you wrong. Absolute W for Tim Pool.